Hello, this is Gerlock. Going to talk today a little bit about my most popular add-on, which is called Hearthstone Toys. When you first install it, it'll pop up here in the middle of your screen. Looks like a Hearthstone. Basic functionality is you click on it, and it shows all the Hearthstones you've collected, or which ones you've enabled. And you can click on any of them that you want to use, like so. That's the basic functionality. Now I'll show you some of the settings. If you mouse over, you'll see it says left click to show the toys, right click go to options, or shift click use a random. So if you hold shift while you click on the button, it'll cast a random Hearthstone. If you right click, it'll show the options. So I'm just going to move it down here for a sec. Right click on it, and you get to the options. Talk through the options real quick. First one is to show the welcome message. So whenever the add-on first loads, it's going to show a little welcome message down in the chat that's going to tell you how to access the options panel and directing you to go to Curseforge to leave bug reports or feature requests. That's basically for new users to let them know how to get to the options. If you want to, you can disable that with this first checkbox. That way you won't see that message when you log in. The second checkbox is show flavor message when using Hearthstone toy. So every time you use one, it will give you like a little one-liner sort of joke in the chat you can read while you're hearthing. If you don't want to see those little flavor messages, they're just for fun, you can disable this. The third one is play the sound. So when you click on the button, it'll play a sound to show, and then when you click on it again, it'll play another sound to close. If you don't want to hear that, you can disable this, and it'll no longer play the sound. I prefer that and the flavor message. The fourth one under general is hide button until mouse over. So if you turn this on, the button will not be visible until you mouse over. Then you can click on it, use it as normal. When you mouse away, it'll go away. That way, for people who don't like clutter, it's not going to take up any space on your screen while you're not looking at it. Although you do have to remember where it is. Okay? I don't prefer that, but people ask for it, so there you go. The second section is position settings. The first one is lock dragging. So if this is turned on, it won't let you drag. You can't move it. Uncheck this will allow you to move it. Also here there's a button move to the center of the screen. So if somehow you've lost it, you can't find it, you can click on this and it'll put it back to the middle. Like that. There's XY position settings. You can come in here and type in numbers to kind of fine tune exactly where you want it to be. On this right side of the position settings is the preset area. So let's say you really like it over here and you want to make sure you can always get it back there. You can come in here and call it a preset name called whatever you want. Preset 1. And then we'll click save. And so now if it gets moved or you move it somewhere, you can go to select preset, there's preset 1, and you can hit load and it'll put it back where you saved it. You can save as many as you want. I think preset 2, go ahead and save that. So we can go between the two, preset 1, load, preset 2, load. And of course if you want to delete one, you can, let's say we're going to delete preset 2, so we'll select it, hit delete, now it's gone, it's not on the list. We can still get to preset 1, we'll load that. Position preset, that's pretty simple. The third section here is toy button position relative to main button. What this means is by default it pops out on the left. If you prefer to have your button over here on the left of the screen, maybe you want the buttons to show up on the right. So you come here and you choose right. And now buttons show up on the right. The other options are above. So they'll pop out at the top. So maybe you want yours down here. or below. Maybe you like your button up here, over by the map, wherever you want to put it. You can use left, right, above, below. I prefer to come out the left, so that's why it's default. It's my add-on. But feel free to change if you like. This next section is size settings. So it's just a slider. You can make them larger or smaller. Go all the way down to 20, which I felt was just a hair below what's reasonable. But if you want those like that, you're welcome to make them small. Or if you're blind, you can make them huge, up to 100. You can also come in here and type in a number. So let's just say 50, and it'll make them 50. I believe the default I want to say is 44. And I chose that because it's the same size as the action bar buttons. The bottom section is included toys. So what this will do is it'll compare what toys you own versus which ones are available. So there's a couple, maybe one or two that I don't actually own, so they won't even be in the list. Everything that I own will be here. You can come and uncheck things that you don't want to see or to be used for the random, for that matter. So for example, I'm not a fan of the pedal feet. I'll uncheck that. Noble Gardener, I don't really like that one either. I'm going to turn off Grandfather. Winter. Also going to disable Garrison and Dalaran. I don't really like those to be in the list. Someone requested that, so I put them in there. But they could get cast randomly, so I use the random a lot. Not really a huge fan of the Brewfest one either, so I'll disable that. If you are a shaman, you'll see Astral Recall. If you have any, if you're an inscriptionist or you've bought any scroll of recall from the auction house, they will show up in here as well. You can disable those. So it's not just toys, it's also items. The actual Hearthstone is here as well. If you don't really want the OG Hearthstone, you can disable that. So it's toys, items, and spells are possible. The only spell in here is the Astral Recall. There's a couple of items that are in bags, Scroll of Recall, and Hearthstone. All the rest are the toys. So you can disable which ones you don't want. If you want to go back to defaults, just click up here, and everything will go back to default. It'll say, "Are you sure?" You hit yes. Boom. It'll put it back in the middle. It'll put everything back to 0. Delete all your presets, etc. If you look down in the description, you can see the link to go download the add-on. Please leave a comment on Curseforge if you have any feature requests or bugs, or you can leave a comment on this video. Thanks.